Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, with every drip from this laptop, doesn't this story become less of a Hunter Biden story and way more of a, hey, Joe Biden lied story?
Well, exactly, Todd. It's pretty obvious at this point that Hunter Biden was involved in some really shady stuff and possibly illegal activity, which is why there's a federal investigation going on right now. And the question keeps coming up, guys, right? Did the president profit off of these business dealings by Hunter Biden? Is he compromised by the Chinese? Is he compromised by the Russians or others now? And if and when Republicans take back the House in November, and that's a when scenario at this point if you talk to even Democratic strategists, there will be hearings, there will be investigations into Hunter Biden, James Biden, who's the president's brother, and the president himself. And only at that point will the media be forced to cover this story with much more focus than they have at this point. But I think we'll have to wait to November to truly get some, well, maybe not November, but until the next Congress is sworn in early 2023 to truly get some answers on this. But as you said, it's a drip situation from this laptop that seems never ending at this point. I want that memory in my laptop Seriously. At this point.
That's true. That's what do you call it for? A robust laptop?
It's the most robust laptop ever.
Yeah. Also, we want to ask you about this, Joe. The Washington Post actually changed the headline of CNN host Fareed Zakaria's op-ed after it received backlash from the left. So the headline originally read, "Forget pronouns. Democrats need to become the party of building things." But after receiving criticism, the Washington Post dropped the first part, "Forget the pronouns. Only Democrats need to become the party of building things." Pete Buttigieg's husband was actually one of the critics calling out this headline. He posted a tweet saying, "Addressing someone by the name pronoun they prefer is free, easy, and kind. Democrats can walk and chew gum. We can fix roads and bridges and build bridges while also making it a little easier to go about your life. That's called freedom." And, you know, Chasten Buttigieg is allowed to have that opinion. That's the whole point. This is an op-ed. This is Fareed Zakaria's opinion. So what are your thoughts on the Washington Post actually changing the headline here?
Democracy dies in dumbness, right? I mean, the fact that they bowed to the mob online on this. And again, when you stealth edit these headlines and change them, people have screenshots. People will notice, and it only hurts the credibility of the paper. I think Bill Maher said it best. He said, you know, while the Chinese are building roads and bridges, we're debating on what to rename the road or the bridge, right? And you know, Chasten Buttigieg says Democrats can walk and chew gum at the same time. They could fix roads and promote using pronouns or the term Latinx and do all the things that make them feel better about themselves while putting themselves up on a higher moral plane. But Chasten Buttigieg's husband, however, has shown he can't walk and chew gum at the same time. This is the guy who took 2 months off while the supply chain crisis was exploding for paternity leave and didn't bother to tell the American public about it. I like what Van Jones had to say about this as well. He works for CNN. He used to work for the Obama-Biden administration. Quote, those people being Democrats, talk funny. I've never met a Latinx. I've never met a BIPOC. That's weird stuff that these highly educated people say. It's bizarre. Nobody talks that way at the barbershop, the nail salon, the grocery store, the community center. But that's how we talk now. So that's weird. So it's not just Fareed Zakaria.
That's a great
It's
quote.
Van Jones at CNN. It really is.
Yeah.
He's a pragmatic guy, Van Jones. And when they concentrate on pronouns instead of fixing the problems of the American people, Fareed Zakaria is 100% right. And as you said, you want to disagree with it, it's fine. It's an op-ed.
Yeah,
but also removing that part of the title kind of loses the whole point of the op-ed. But again, Chasten doesn't clearly see that. We digress. Meantime, Vice President Harris's chief speechwriter and her domestic policy advisor, who's also her longest-serving aide, are the latest staffers to announce their departure from the White House. I want to focus on the director of the speechwriting. She was just hired on April 4th. That's a pretty quick turn there. Isn't that a pretty bad sign, Joe?
Who leaves this job? I mean, you work probably, what, 5-6 hours a week? Because you barely see Kamala Harris. But I wouldn't put that on my LinkedIn page anytime soon because, again, speechwriter for Kamala Harris. Hey, can we see some of those speeches, see what kind of work you've done? Because when you listen to the Thousand Island word salad from Kamala Harris during some of these speeches, that's something I wouldn't want on my resume. But overall, within Kamala Harris's office, I mean, you know, we haven't seen an exodus like this, you know, since, modern day San Francisco, just a couple of weeks ago, everybody fleeing that city, or biblical Egypt. So this is where we're at this point. And I think I said it over the weekend, Carly. This is like being Carly Shimkus's assistant. You don't want to work for this person, this vice president. It's way too much to handle.
I'm just a disaster. I'm so mean, aren't I, Todd?
You are. I have to get going to where I have to get going because of your meanness.
Joe, we appreciate you. I say that.
I would work for you, actually. You're probably the most laid-back person I've ever met. So the joke people at home don't think I'm actually saying that and meaning it. So.
That was very funny.
See you Tuesday.